Sorry, I've got to change my name. This is my daughter's name.
No problem. No problem at all.
Okay.
All right. Looks like it's just the two of us.
Mm.
And that's fine with me too.
Yeah, it's okay. To me too. It's kind of more great just because it's kind of effortless to me.
That's right. You get a bonus.
Yay.
Yay.
Wait. Just I won't.
No problem.
Okay, thank you.
All right, welcome. All right, my name is Steve, and I'm from America originally. I come from the state of Minnesota, which is located in the northern central part of the United States, just below Canada. It borders the Great Lake Superior to the north on the northern side of Minnesota. And I'm from the city of Minneapolis, which is the biggest city in Minnesota. Not the capital. But
it's not the capital.
No, it is not.
Oh, wow.
The capital is St. Paul, which is the city right next to Minneapolis. And that's why they call us the Twin Cities in America. And so St. Paul is the capital, and Minneapolis is the biggest, and in my opinion, the best city of the two. But actually, our state capital was designed by the same architect that designed the nation's capital building. So the capital of Minnesota, the Capitol building of Minnesota, looks very similar to the nation's Capitol building in Washington, D.C., because it was designed by the same architect as that one. So yeah, that's a little Minnesota trivia that you may or may not need to know.
Need to know it?
It may be interesting, maybe.
Yeah, I was thinking asking you that where in United States you're from.
Yeah. So that's where I'm from originally. And so my favorite sports teams are from Minnesota. My favorite football team is the Minnesota Vikings football team. So that's why everything I wear is purple. It's my favorite color. Same color as my favorite team. All right. You're from Osaka?
No, I'm originally from Hyogo Prefecture.
Oh, okay.
How long have you been in Japan?
I've been in Japan over 22 years.
Oh, okay. So you might know that I'm originally from Tamba, Sasayama. Do you know?
I've been to Hyogo many times, but I'm not familiar with that area of Hyogo.
Okay, it's next to Nose. Do you know the Nose in Osaka? It's the most north place in Osaka.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Yeah, I can't say. Those are just two places I've not been to, actually.
I thought that you might know.
I've lived in Osaka since 2003. And before that, I lived for a short time in Saitama and Yokohama. And I've also spent over 3 years in the city of Matsuyama in Ehime Prefecture. That's where I first came to Japan in 1998. And I lived there for a little over 3 years.
Wow.
Yeah. So I've kind of lived all over. Osaka is the longest place I've lived in Japan. And I live near Tennoji, actually, in Osaka. So this is the area that I like the best in Osaka. But I love the Osaka area. And, I'm quite familiar with Hyogo as well. I used to work in Ashia.
The most richest place in Hyogo.
Yeah, it's a very nice area.
Yeah. I used to live in Nishinomiya.
Okay.
I used to work there,
Okay. Yep.
but I moved to Osaka.
I'm familiar with Nishinomiya.
So I've also living in Osaka for more than 15 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which do you like better?
So maybe Osaka. Well, yeah, it's just more convenient and nice place to live.
Yeah, true,
Yeah,
true.
yeah. Currently living in very close to I forgot, Tsurumi-ryokuchi Park.
Okay, yep. I know the area.
So living in Tsurumi-ku.
Okay. Yeah, I've been to that park before, I believe.
Yeah, and working in Nishinari. So I always go to, and I every day I go to, I just forgot the station, name of the station, Tengajaya Station.
Okay. Okay.
Yes, that's station for my work.
Oh, okay. What do you do?
I'm a physio. I'm a physical therapist. Physical therapist in American English.
Oh, wow.
Is currently working for elderlies in a big nursing home.
Wow, that's great. A little bit challenging, I think, maybe. It sounds, because older people tend to have a lot of physical problems.
Yes.
They get. So I can imagine you're quite busy at work.
Yeah, it is.
Wonderful. That's fantastic. Well, let me start out the lesson by saying this is a completely safe place.
Okay.
You don't have to worry about anything. Don't worry about your English. Don't worry about making mistakes.
Okay.
That's not important. Okay. Maybe the only people that it's important to are Japanese people. They worry so much about their English and usually sorry about my poor English. Oh, sorry.
I used to say a lot.
You don't need to. Okay. Native speakers like me, we're quite used to communicating with, even within our own home countries. There are many Americans who have less than perfect English. We have many immigrants from all over the world coming to America with varying levels of English ability. Even after living in America for many, many years, their English can still be rather difficult to understand sometimes, or even poor. So it's quite okay. We're quite used to it. Yeah. And so you don't have to worry about any of that tonight. And in fact, that's one of the first major hurdles to get over to becoming a better communicator in English, because it's all about communicating. It's all about talking. Yeah. If you're too afraid or too shy to talk, it's very hard to communicate then. Yeah. And most of the barriers to communication are ones you place on yourselves, mostly. Yeah. Because native speakers don't care about that kind of stuff. We might be English teachers by profession, but as you know, when you go home, you leave work at work and you are home with your family. You're home and not at work. It's not like you're going to do physical therapy at home with your family necessarily, right? When we talk to friends and when we communicate with family, we don't correct their English, and we don't worry about how badly their English is spoken, whether they're making lots of grammatical mistakes or pronunciation mistakes. Often it's just sometimes pronunciation can be a little bit confusing and can cause some miscommunication, but that's easily solved by discussing or clarifying what the speaker is trying to say. And okay, you didn't mean this, you meant this one. Okay, I got it now. Also, if there's vocabulary that you don't understand or you don't know, and don't worry about using the English that you do know to make it understood what you want to say. Okay. By that, I speak Japanese. I speak Japanese quite well, and I can hold many basic everyday conversations in Japanese. But of course, I'm a second language speaker of the language, and I'm not native, and I make lots of mistakes. And of course, there's lots of vocabulary that I don't know either because it's just not familiar to me. But if I need to say something, often I try to describe what I'm trying to say with the vocabulary that I already know so that they can, oh yeah, okay, I understand. I think I know what you're trying to say now. And that's what we can do in English as well. Talk using the language that you know to say what you want to say. Okay?
Okay.
Got it?
Right. Perfect.
All right. Excellent. 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 All right. So today, one of the things I want to talk about, and I'll share my screen with you here, is the concept, the keys to communication. Okay. And today, especially, I want to talk about small talk, making small talk. Have you heard of this term before, small talk?
Small talk, is it? Yeah, I know it.
Okay, great, great. This is one of the major things that most native speakers even use to start up a conversation or to have a conversation with coworkers, with friends. It really doesn't matter. Usually, that's what we do. We make small talk with people, right? And what do we make small talk about? What do you think, Eddie? What are some things? What are some small talk topics that you think native speakers talk about, or
No,
that you yourself talk about?
Is it only for no? I think that's not only for the native English speakers, but all of us talk about something which happened currently, or something big topic on news, or something what's happening in around us, kind of.
Right. Exactly. And that's, you can refer to that as current events. Yeah, talking about current events, and that's excellent because that is a major topic of conversation. Yeah. What are some current events happening in the world today that we might talk about?
Wait, we might be Olympics, especially in Japan, or
Absolutely.
COVID-19 situation.
Yeah, yep. Those are two big ones. And certainly we could have a very long conversation about either of those topics, right? Have you been watching the Olympics?
Not really, just because I have a daughter and she's just 3. She doesn't want to watch Olympic games. She only want to watch YouTube video, which she want to watch. I have no time to watch TV.
Wow, yeah, 3 years old. That is a tough age.
Yes, it's really tough.
I have 4 children of my own. 3. Well, I have 4 children. 3 are children of my own that I fathered. I have 3 boys.
Wow.
Yeah. And my daughter is by marriage, so she's my stepdaughter. And she's 19 years old now. Yeah, she's a big girl now. And my oldest son is 17. He's a high school student.
Wow.
And my second oldest is 13. And he's in junior high school. Yeah, first year junior high school.
Yeah.
And my youngest is only 11 years old, or going to be 11 years old.
Yeah, it's already 11 years old.
Yeah, they grow so fast.
But it's also very tough age, isn't it? Those age.
Yeah, they don't stop being kids just because they're big.
Yeah, they are already grown up.
Yeah. But
Kind of.
they still fight with each other. They still, cause problems sometimes and don't do what they're supposed to. And don't.
Yeah, teenagers, boys, that sounds really tough for parents to me.
Well, I mean, I'm a strict dad in some ways, but in a lot of ways, I try to parent my kids with love and understanding. I was 17 once. I was 13 once.
Yeah.
I was 11 once. I know what it's like to be those ages, and I try not to be too harsh with them unless they absolutely need it, which sometimes they do. Yeah.
No, I know.
But usually I try to teach them, not only tell them what to do, but I teach them why they should do what I want them to do. Yeah. And also I explain my own feelings about the situation. I really don't, you think I want to yell at you? I don't want to. Yeah. But if you don't listen, then this is what happens. Right? Yeah. You force my hand. Yeah. So yeah, I don't miss 3 years old. They were cute then, and I do sometimes miss how cute they were, but I wouldn't want another 3-year-old. Yeah, but just one daughter, just one?
Yes, one daughter.
Okay, excellent. Wow. Yeah, so current events. The Olympics, of course, is a big one. Were you pro Olympics or were you against the Olympics coming to Japan?
This year, it's kind of against.
Yeah.
Just because means you can see what's happening in Tokyo.
Right. Yeah. And
who want to follow what government says?
Well, and it's just ridiculous. They're having now, in Osaka, a 4th state of emergency again from this.
Yes. It just started.
I feel the worst for like restaurants and bars and nightclubs in Osaka, because I know a lot of people who own bars and nightclubs in Osaka. I DJ in my free time at a place called Tins Hall. I don't know if you're familiar in Tennoji. It's in Tennoji. It's near the station in Tennoji, and it's a live house. So they often have live music performing there, and I DJ every weekend usually. when COVID is not happening, I'm a DJ, and I love doing that. But I haven't DJ'd since February.
Wow, you kind of lost that job.
Yeah, well, it's still there. It's just on hold, a long hold.
Almost lost it.
You
are losing. Yeah, that's sad.
It's terrible.
Yeah, that's really sad.
A lot of these guys, they've worked hard to make a business and create their dreams, and now they're having to lock down their bars and they can't open, and I feel really terrible for them. And it's the 4th time. How many times are they going to do this now?
I don't know.
I mean,
who knows?
Yeah, I mean, like they open for like a week or two,
and then shut down
back to normal, and then okay, state of emergency again.
Yeah.
Oh, it's terrible. Yeah. So current events is a big thing that we could talk about with small talk.
Yes.
Yeah. Another thing is, new movies, TV shows. This is an example of one new TV show on Disney Plus. It's called Loki. And it's if you're familiar with the Marvel universe.
No, not really. I know the Marvel universe, but that's
okay.
not my cup of tea.
Yeah, well,
No.
if you had a boy,
Yeah.
you probably would know more about it.
I maybe kind of have to watch if I had a
Yes,
boy,
right.
but
Right.
luckily it's girl.
That's right. So you're not familiar with this, but
No.
this is a new TV show streaming on Disney Plus. If you have that application, as you know, all the Star Wars and Marvel and all that is on Disney Plus because Disney owns all of it. So people can talk about this, of course, if you're interested. If not, we can move on. You might talk about, politics. Although
that's the kind of really difficult and tricky one to talk
it
to.
it is possible to talk about politics, but you kind of have to know people pretty good to talk about politics, right? It is one of the things that you should avoid talking about in small talk.
Yeah.
Because people have very strong opinions, especially from America. Not so much in Japan.
Yes. No.
Right?
You can talk
about
politics, which nobody's really care about.
That's right. That's right. It's not such a passionate thing here in Japan. But as you saw from the news in January, from the elections last November and in through January of this year, people had very strong opinions about politics in America. And it's just something you're never going to win. No matter how good your argument is, no matter how good your opinion is, someone who doesn't support President Biden, for example, it isn't going to listen to you. They're never going to agree. So it's only going to cause tension and arguing. And that's just not good in small talk.
Just I have to listen what they say. That's the thing which happened to me.
Has it happened?
Yes, I had happened. Yes, I have a teacher, Italki teacher, and he is originally British, but he's living in the US.
Okay.
And he is a kind of a supporter of, I forgot the guy.
Trump?
Yes, Trump.
Oh, goodness.
I'm not really into Trump, but I kind of have to listen it. What he's saying.
Right.
All the time.
Yeah. And see, that's just not good. That's just not a good situation. Especially teachers of any kind shouldn't necessarily bring their own opinions to a lesson or to a discussion. I found, through experience, I've had 22 plus experiences teaching English in Japan. And, I found through my own experiences, actually, it's best just to leave your opinions out of it. Yeah. Just let the students talk to each other, maybe correct them if you have to. But other than that, unless they really want to hear your opinion, you should leave it. You leave it alone. Yeah. Just walk away.
Yeah, but it was kind of always the topic for this kind of small talk. We almost always start with the small talk.
Okay.
So it's almost always the topic at that time.
Right. Yeah, and Trump supporters tend to be pretty loud about their support. Right. Okay. Sports is
sports,
another,
right?
Of course, the Olympics would fall under sports as well. But other sports, this is hockey. American
Yes, I love it. I used to love it. I used to watch it a lot, and I used to go to watch hockey in Japan, ice hockey in Japan.
Awesome.
Yes.
Yeah. That's wonderful.
And I also loved American football a lot when I was a young. Yes, I used to go and watch.
That's really awesome. Yeah. So you understand the games.
Most of
Excellent.
it.
Excellent. Excellent. Yeah. So if you were a big sports fan still, of course we could talk about, the American football, National Football League, training camps are starting just
But
this week or last week they started. I think it was this week that they started in America. So all the 32 NFL teams, they do what's called a training camp. So they, after the break, the season ends and they have a long break, they finally come back to football. And of course they have to get in shape, and practice for games and evaluate. Because at first, of course, the teams start out with a lot more talent than what they can have on their team to start the season. So they can only have 53 players total by the beginning of the season. Most teams start training camp with maybe almost double that. Yeah, so they of course bring in new players. They sign free agents. They draft new players, and of course they still have players that they had from last year on their team, right? So they bring them all in and let them practice together and play together, and then they see which players they want to keep, which players they want to get rid of. Yeah, and they play some preseason games. Usually 4 or 5 preseason games before the beginning of the season, and then the season begins in September next month.
Yes, this one question. One question. I'm not really familiar with the American football in the US.
Yeah.
But is there any the major league, the professional baseball, they have I forgot the name of the top league, the major league and the minor leagues, and and then the below and the below and the below.
Yeah.
Is that same in the American football? They have the national, is it National League or something?
And then National Football League, the NFL.
Yes, NFL, and the below and the below and below.
No, basically the minor league of professional football is college football.
Oh, right.
And then there's high school football. So the colleges, they recruit from the high schools, all the top high school players around America. And then, the NFL teams draft. There's a 7-round draft every year in the NFL. And so every team gets to choose players that they want for their team from the draft, and then they bring them in, and then they evaluate them and see how they go after that. And even sometimes, for example, there are college players that are not drafted in the NFL draft, but so they become free agents, and teams can sign them to contracts as well. But usually those players have a very small chance of making the team, actually. But one of the big players on the Minnesota Vikings team, he's a wide receiver. He catches the ball. His name is Adam Thielen. He was actually an undrafted free agent out of university. And he not only made the team eventually, but he's a big star nowadays. Yeah, and he's from Minnesota, actually. So it does happen. It can happen, but it's very, very rare. Usually the best players in the NFL draft are the first 2 rounds of the NFL draft. Yeah.
I can imagine it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes you find good players in the third round or the fourth
Mm.
round. Tom Brady, the quarterback who was playing for New England Patriots, and they won 6 Super Bowls
Mm.
in New England, and he won his 7th Super Bowl, I think his 7th Super Bowl last year with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Tom Brady, he was drafted in the 6th round
Wow.
of the draft, and
It must be really rare.
it's extremely rare.
Rare.
But sometimes it does happen.
Mm.
Team, for whatever reason, teams don't think very highly of some of those quarterbacks in the later rounds, but turns out with the right coaches, they're actually pretty good, right? Yeah. So sports is a big, big topic of small talk, especially with guys. You maybe
Yes.
you are the rare woman who loves sports. Yeah, but I find actually a lot of women in Japan like sports. So you're not so rare in Japan.
No. Is it that the sports which I used to like it are quite rare just because in Japan, ice hockey is almost died. Teams
Yeah,
has almost died.
I think so. Right.
And the American football, yeah, they do still
Mhm.
play, but not very big in Japan.
Yeah, it's still not huge, right?
But I love those sounds.
Yeah, the
Yes, that sound. Listening and the speed.
Mhm. Yeah, both of my older boys play rugby for school. And they like it quite a lot. My oldest son is actually in Oita now.
Oita?
He's actually on his way home from Oita
Yeah.
right now, and he was there for playing rugby and camp.
Wow.
Yeah, for the last week. So he'll be home tomorrow.
More.
Yeah, yeah.
You
So
maybe can't wait. He
uh,
coming back.
well, I do miss him, and I am excited to see him.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, it must be.
but yeah, he's a big boy now, and he's gone more than he's home. So I do miss him most of the time. My big boy, he's taller than me now. He's way
Wow.
taller and a bigger guy than me. So yeah, he's a good boy, and he plays hard. He's a pretty good rugby player. All right, let's look at the next picture.
Oh,
Australia,
Australia.
travel
All right.
in normal times, in normal times is a pretty big small talk topic, right?
Yeah.
I mean, even still now, we can talk about it in like places that we'd like to visit or we have visited in the past, certainly. But people are not traveling so much these
No.
days, right?
I want to.
Have you ever been to Australia?
Yes, I've been there. The
Oh,
first overseas travel for me is Australia when I was a high school student.
oh, right. Wow.
Yes.
Where did you go?
We went to Sydney and then stayed in Melbourne for a week or something.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I've never been to Australia.
Why? Why did you put that photo?
Well, because I know that it's a popular place for students to go.
All right.
Especially. And the odds are that a lot of Japanese people have been to Australia. And it's certainly a place that I would love to go. I have a lot of friends that live in Australia and are from Australia and New Zealand as well.
Yeah,
So,
I was in New Zealand for a year.
oh, right. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
With my working holiday visa.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's definitely one of my bucket list places to visit. A good friend of mine is from New Zealand and lives there now. And I've met his family. They've visited us in Japan as well. And so I know lots of people in these places.
Mm.
So if I go down there, I definitely have a lot of places to stay.
Yeah, yeah. The first place I want to visit after COVID is New
Yeah,
Zealand.
I'd love to. Yeah.
Yeah, to visit my friend. Yes.
Oh, where do they live?
I used to live in Christchurch.
Okay. Yeah. I think actually my good friend lives near there.
Where where does he or she live?
Ah, right off the top of my head, I can't
Mm.
tell you exactly, but I believe it's Christchurch that he
Mm.
lives in or near anyway. You know, it's New Zealand isn't a very big place, but
No.
because there are not very many people that live there,
Mm.
there's a lot of space.
Yes.
So, and he actually lives on a pretty big piece of land. And
Okay. With
uh,
sheep, maybe.
yeah, well, no, there's no sheep
Oh,
that I
wow.
know of. Um, but he does have quite a lot of land to grow
Mm.
vegetables and things like that as well.
Oh, right.
Yeah, it's pretty cool,
Mm.
right?
A
How,
diving.
you know, if diving is one of your hobbies or if you've ever been diving.
Yeah, that's the one of the things I used to do
Really?
as well. Yes, when I was
Wow.
young.
Wow, where did you go diving?
In my 20s, oh, almost always in Japan, around around Kinki.
Okay.
But the best place where I visited is Vanuatu. When I was in New Zealand, I went to Vanuatu
Ah,
for scuba diving.
wow.
It was beautiful, amazing
Uh,
place to visit.
I bet I've always wanted to get certified for scuba diving, but it's so expensive,
Mm,
to
it
get
is
certified in almost anywhere you go, right? It's going to cost you some
a
money,
lot. Yes.
right? And when you really think about it, how often you're going to go scuba diving?
No, really.
Is it worth the expense? I don't
But
know.
but it's really worth. Yeah, it's kind of worth expense
Yeah.
to discover to see those lovely, beautiful fish
Okay.
on the picture.
Yeah, yeah. I've been snorkeling before.
Mm.
In fact, the first time I ever went snorkeling in the sea, I went to the Bahamas.
Wow, it must be really beautiful.
It was beautiful. It was absolutely gorgeous, and I was immediately hooked on snorkeling. I was like, this is the best thing ever.
Mm.
Yeah. And the thing that was the best to me is like the sea was very rough and choppy that day, but as soon as you put your head in the water, it was just calm
Yeah.
and you only heard your breathing. It was very relaxing to go snorkeling for me. Uh,
Mm.
but I've also been snorkeling in Thailand as well.
Yeah, it
Uh,
must be really beautiful as well.
it was. It was actually the island of Koh Phi Phi.
Ah, it must be good. It's the kind of the best place in Thailand. I used to go Thailand a lot.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
I've been to Thailand a couple times.
Yeah.
When I went to Koh Phi Phi, we were staying in Phuket, and
Yeah,
we
I
took a day cruise to Koh Phi Phi, and this was before the tsunami, right?
mm.
Actually around a year before the tsunami hit, we
Mm.
went to Thailand and Koh Phi Phi and went snorkeling and saw lots of beautiful fish and sea urchins. And it was wonderful. Um, and then the tsunami hit and
Mm.
wow, yeah. I
Yeah.
haven't been to Thailand since the tsunami
Mm.
hit. So it's been a while since I've been to Thailand.
Yeah.
But
But the first diving, with the first ever diving I did was in Phuket,
okay.
and then I hooked it,
Wow.
and then started scuba diving.
Yeah, right, right.
Yeah.
It's so amazing.
It is.
The first time I went to Thailand, it was in the winter of 1998 when I first came to
1998.
Japan, because one of my best friends is from Thailand and he lives in America, but we met. I went from Japan and he went from America. We met in Thailand. Excuse me. And I stayed there for 3 weeks that time. And we took a train from Bangkok to Chiang Mai. We went to the floating
Love
market.
Chiang Mai.
Yeah, it's a great place. We only stayed for one night.
That's pity.
Well,
You should stay there more.
I wanted to.
Explore.
I wanted to, but we went with my friend and his family. His mom and dad also went to Thailand and with some friends as well. We all went as a big group together, and like I got to Bangkok the night before. We stayed overnight in a hotel, woke up the next day, got on a train to go to Chiang Mai, 10 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then
10 hours. Wow.
stayed overnight in Chiang Mai, came back 10 hours to Bangkok. Then
Wow, what
in a 3-hour van, we got in a van for 3 hours to go to the floating market. And I'm like, who planned this trip? Who did this? This is the craziest thing ever.
Yeah.
And he's like,
It's kind of wasting the time.
oh my goodness. I mean,
you just spend a whole time in train, I feel like.
yeah, like the first almost week that I was there, I was traveling
all
all
around.
over the place.
No.
He's actually from a place called Satahip, which is near Pattaya. It's near Pattaya.
Okay.
About 30 kilometers from Pattaya. It used to be a small town that was a naval base, a naval town. And so it was really cool to see like that side of Thailand, the real side where the real neighborhoods people live in and the real day-to-day lives of Thai people. I really got that experience the first time I went there. When I went to Phuket, it was on my honeymoon, and we mostly stayed in Phuket and just did like tourist kind of stuff. So it wasn't that exciting. It wasn't as busy as my first trip to Thailand.
But I prefer your second travel. Don't want to go all over Thailand in a week or something.
Yeah, I mean that first. I'll tell you, the first week that I was the first time I was in Thailand, I saw so much of the country. Bangkok to Chiang Mai. We also went to an orchard. A friend of my friend's mom had a durian farm.
Wow.
Yeah. So we went to a durian farm, and it was really quite interesting because I got to see that on this farm, they had the durian trees, and you could see how they grow the big durian fruit, right? Just one fruit per branch of the tree.
I was about to ask that how durian grows. So one big
fruit,
branch and one big durian.
That's it. They cut everything else off.
They cut it. Okay.
Yeah,
to grow it big.
It's also because to help the tree survive. Yeah, literally. If there were like 10 durian on one branch, the tree would die eventually. Yeah. So it starts off really tiny, like this tiny, like a cherry almost. And I'm like, that's a durian? Yeah. Wow, I can't believe it.
Yeah. Just one question. One more question.
Yeah.
Did that place smell?
Surprisingly, no.
Wow.
It's surprisingly no. Well, maybe I was used to it by then. Yeah. My friend's mom loves durian, so she had it a lot. But I've tried it. Not
How
for me.
was it?
Not for me.
I've
Durian
never tried it.
durian chips are quite nice.
Mm.
Dried durian chips, they're not bad. They don't taste the same as like the raw fruit. Oh, yeah, it tastes like it smells.
Yeah. What does it? What actually taste?
Well,
That does actually.
it tastes just like it smells. So, and
That
it's
means that smell is too strong, so you cannot really feel its taste.
well,
Like saying
no. It tastes just like it.
smell.
Yeah. So, kind of like natto, right? Natto kind of tastes exactly like it smells.
I can't eat smell natto.
No?
No,
Then you shouldn't try durian.
no. So I've
You
never tried it.
wouldn't like it.
Never tried durian. No.
It's very soft also. It's very soft.
Mhm.
Yeah. And the farm, it was near the Cambodian border, actually. So we traveled kind of like the southern part of Thailand. And then I also went to a wedding in Bangkok during my time there. A friend of theirs was getting married at the Hyatt Hotel, Hyatt Regency Hotel there. Gorgeous ceremony, beautiful food. It was a wonderful experience. Yeah. All right. So, yeah, you're doing a great job, by the way, of communicating with me. I can really understand you, and
Well, thank you.
you're keeping up your side of the conversation, which is the big key as well to being a good communicator in any language, really, right? You don't want an interview. Hi, how are you? I'm fine, thank you. And you? I'm good, thank you. Uh, what's your name? My name is, okay. Where are you from? I'm from Japan. Okay, great. Do you like sports? Yes, I do. Okay. What do you like to do? I like to sleep. Okay. Whoa. That kind of that's an interview. That's really not a conversation because there's no active participation, right? And there should be in a true conversation. It shouldn't only be one person talking, the other one's listening, or one person is asking questions, the other one is just uh, answering questions, right? You need to go both ways. Ask and answer, ask and answer,
Yeah.
like playing tennis, right? You don't just bang the ball at one person the whole time. Boom, boom, boom. Oh. Right. It's a give and take. It's a back and forth. And that's what a real good conversation is all about. And that's what communicating is really all about. Yeah. Do you have any other questions before we move on
About
about
small
anything?
talk, anything,
Anything so far?
anything so far. What I thought about the one thing just came up to me. If I'm talking to somebody in English, in one to one, like
Yeah.
this conversation, I think that I can handle it. But if the group becomes more big,
Mhm.
and everybody's talking in English,
Yep.
and especially lots of natives or the people who is really good at English talking
Mhm.
together, I just can't really go into the conversation. Although I have something I want to say, I just cannot go into there.
Don't be afraid of that situation. Just, that's why English speaking people, native speakers, you tend to be pretty loud, right?
And they don't stop.
No, they don't. It's like the freeway. Yeah. Yeah. The cars keep going vroom, 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 and you're trying to get on the freeway, but if you don't try to get in there, you're never going. They're not going to.
Yeah, it's just
Yeah.
because I'm really Japanese. I'm just try finding out the gap that people is not talking, but that's never happened.
Yeah, no, and it doesn't usually. So don't be afraid to cut people off.
Okay.
You know, and you can do that in a nice way by saying, okay, excuse me, I have something to say. Or, if they're talking about travel, oh, that's interesting. You know what? I've been there too. Or, oh, that's wonderful. It's what we call active listening, and that's another lesson that I want to do with students as well. But I think small talk is so important. That's why I wanted it to be our very first lesson together, because how well you can do small talk leads into other aspects of communication and becoming a better communicator. So this is like the basic lesson of becoming a better communicator, because your English is good enough. You don't think, oh, their English is better than mine, or they're native speakers, or whatever the case may be. Don't think like that, because there is no good or bad English, really. There isn't that distinction. Also keep in mind, with native speakers in Japan especially, most of us are university graduates. We're educated native speakers, which is a huge difference between uneducated native speakers. In fact, some people in my family who are not as educated as I am, you would be surprised that we are related to each other, maybe because of the difference between our English abilities. Some native speakers don't have even the best English. As you know, in Japan too, right? There are some Japanese people who really
can't talk Japanese
not very well, right? They make mistakes, or they use like really like not good vocabulary, or like a lot of people say people from Osaka sound rough when they speak, right? Because they speak so Japanese so roughly. Yeah, I don't think so, but that's what I've heard from other Japanese people living in other places in Japan, right?
Right.
They kind of are afraid of people from Osaka.
No, it's just a dialect.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
just a dialect.
Yeah, but I mean, education level definitely plays a factor in how well you can speak a language or not. So the native speakers you are talking to in English, we are educated English speakers. So of course our English ability is better than the average American native speaker, yeah, or the average British native speaker, the average Canadian native speaker. So maybe if you are always comparing yourself to our English, it'd be like me comparing my Japanese to a very highly educated Japanese person. Of course, my Japanese ability is not even close to their level in many ways, but that doesn't mean that I can't still communicate.
You can communicate. You can.
Yeah, exactly. And it's just trying, it's just getting in there and, using the tools that to make yourself understood. Oh, that's a great idea. Oh, that's interesting. I really like that. And then here's what I think about this. And here's what I think about that. Because They do want to hear your opinion. They do.
Yeah, I just got, I need to say something like that. So, that's a nice thing or something else at the beginning. And then they might listen. I mean,
yeah. So, like I
okay.
say, if you wanted another lesson in the future, definitely the next lesson I would teach you would be about active listening and making yourself a part of the conversation, keeping yourself a part of the conversation, and tools that you can use to do that. This is about small talk, and that's really the focus of this lesson. But there are other ways to become a better communicator as well.
Yes. And that means I'm gonna be your next lesson as well.
Okay.
Yes, of course. I want to improve my English.
Yeah.
As well as my daughters or more. I want to improve my English skill.
Actually, one of the first person I had in my group lesson, Hisako Tano.
Yes.
I don't know if you know her. I'm actually teaching her son also right now, private lesson.
Wow.
Because she enjoyed my lesson, so she wanted to have me teach her son as well. So I'm teaching him twice a week
Wow.
for this month of August. But hopefully we can I can teach you guys longer than just 1 month. Yeah, I would love to teach you guys forever.
Yeah. Please come and please sometime be mother's English teacher.
Yeah, I would love to.
Yeah, for all.
I would really love to do that.
Yes, I'm always there.
Yeah. Yeah, I've only joined
yes, I know.
Since this last month.
July?
So, from July, yeah. So I'm still getting to know the group and trying to find my way into the group, because I know there are many other popular native moms and dads out there that people love to learn from as well. But yeah, this is actually what I do. This is I have my own online English school, MVP English School Online, and I'm trying very hard to get that started as well. So that's was my primary motivation for getting into this group. Also, I know a lot of people that are already here too, like Darren Reynolds. I worked with Darren for over 9 years.
Wow, and Dylan is my daughter's teacher.
Okay,
He's coming over our place to teach her.
Oh, also
English and music. Yes.
Yeah. We worked together at Kinder Kids for a long time. Not ever in the same school, but same company for 9 years. So he's actually the one that kind of introduced me to this group. But also Ruth
yes.
is a good friend of mine as well. And we worked together at Kinder Kids also for many years.
Yeah, and I know her.
Her sister Grace, I don't know if you know Grace.
I don't know.
I don't know why Grace didn't join here yet, but maybe she will. Ruth has a sister, Grace.
Oh, is she in Japan?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
As far as I know, she's still.
I think she never mentioned about it. Ruth
Really?
never mentioned about it. I've never heard about it from Ruth.
Well, if you saw the two of them together, you wouldn't necessarily say sisters. I mean, they are close, and I definitely have seen them together many times. But I mean, like Ruth is very thin and tall.
Yes.
Right? Grace is much shorter than her sister. But Grace also has 3 kids as well. Yeah, and she's married to another African man as well. So maybe I'll try to get Grace to join the group. I don't know why she hasn't yet, but I'll find out. Anyway, but there are many things that we can have small talk about. Of course, food food is also
Yes,
a
right.
major thing, and something I really, really love to talk about as well, because I'm a huge foodie. Here,
And I love cooking.
yeah,
Oh,
me too.
Thai food, love it.
Yeah, Thai food.
Love it.
Yeah. One of my favorite foods of all time.
Yeah, yes, me too.
Mango sticky rice and tom yum
Tom
and
yum can the Thai
yeah.
curry,
Mm.
green, red, yellow curry. Yeah,
Have you had papaya salad?
yes, somtam.
Tom tam, yep. Have you ever
Love
had
it.
tom kaga?
Tom kha, tom kha, tom
Yeah,
kha.
it's a coconut chicken soup.
Ah, yeah, right, right.
Very excellent. Very excellent. Yeah, just about any Thai food you can name, I've eaten most most of it. I
Love
love
cow
that.
soy the best.
Hmm?
Cow soy.
Ah,
Do
yeah,
you know it?
yeah.
Have you tried it in Chiang Mai?
I did not try it in Chiang
Ah, you
Mai.
should.
I mean, our time was really, really
I
scheduled.
know it.
It was like we were on a tour group.
A
But
Japanese tour group.
yeah, I mean, we went to this like cultural event in Chiang Mai. It was
Mhm.
there were dancers and we were sitting around and
Yeah,
we had food, but I mean, like
Kantok maybe.
it was kind of like a mixture of all different kinds of food.
Mm-mm.
And right now, that was probably over 22 years ago that I was there. So I don't really remember everything perfectly, but it was a lot of fun.
Mm.
And this is one of my favorite foods to eat and cook. I cook Thai food as
Oh,
well.
you cook?
Oh yeah,
Wow.
yeah. I have my own Thai pestle and mortar. I can make my own som tum. Yeah, I make my own
Wow, do you
uh,
make it?
fresh spring
That's
rolls,
amazing.
grilled
Yeah,
spring rolls, or
the,
deep fried spring rolls.
yeah. Where
Uh,
do you from? Where from do you get the blue papaya?
ah, they're in Nippon Bashi,
Ah, I
near
know. The
near
close to the it's in the Kromon Ichiba, the Thai food
yes, that's
shop.
right.
Ah, right, right. I know
This
that
Thai
place.
market
I've
there.
been there.
Sometimes you can find them even at like Oasis or other
Oh,
regular Japanese supermarkets.
in the supermarket. I've never seen it. Wow.
Sometimes. I found it a few times at Oasis,
Wow.
or even Kintetsu Hyakuten.
Mm.
I found it a few times.
Wow.
But the Thai market,
Mm, mm.
you can get Thai basil there,
Yes, I know it.
which I
They
love.
have a
It's my
lot.
absolute favorite Thai basil.
Yeah, I loved it.
You can
Love the
get
place.
the lemon or the lime
The lemongrass. Yeah.
lemongrass. You get hot
Mm.
peppers. You get all the seasonings that you
Yes,
need.
no, yeah.
Everything.
I need Thai seasoning.
Oh, it's beautiful. I love
Yes,
it.
no, no.
Mexican food, also one of
Oh.
my favorite foods in the world. I do a lot of Mexican foods as well, tacos. Kids, it's a great food for kids to learn how to cook,
Mm.
because making tacos is really easy. You just and there's not a lot of cutting involved with tacos
Mm.
either, except for the toppings maybe.
Mm,
But
mm.
even that, if you supervise, it can be easy to do as well.
Mm.
And just add the seasonings, ground your beef or chicken or pork or whatever,
Yeah.
and add the seasoning.
Don't make tacos, but I sometimes make taco rice,
Yeah,
which is
that's
from
easy too.
Okinawa, but
Sure.
that taco meat is quite similar.
It is quite similar, although
Mm.
the taco rice from Okinawa is sweeter.
Ah,
Like
right.
it's not as spicy, for
Just
Japanese taste. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
just yeah.
It's
I love spicy food, but can't put any spice in it just because my daughter's eating it,
right,
and she
right.
always wants to eat what I want to eat, the
Uh,
same one.
you know what though? if you use sour cream in the taco, or even in the taco, the general mixture is fine too. That will dull down the spice level a little bit. Because if you introduce spice from a young age, as long as it's not so mind-blowing, yeah. I mean, you can season yours as much as you want, right?
Yeah.
But I mean, like, as long as it's not super mind-blowing, kids get used to it, and then from a young age, they're able to eat spicy food, right? And then they're set up for being adults that can eat spicy food. But even I love spicy food. I usually cook spicy food as well, tempered down a little bit for my kids, but so it's not spicy to me, but they still complain. It's spicy. It's spicy. Yeah. So but they're able to eat more than the average kid, I would say. Yeah. Chinese food.
Yeah.
Also, I love Chinese food. Although not so much the Japanese Chinese food.
Yeah, Japanese
in Japan.
Yeah, we eat Japanese Chinese food.
It's very different than the Chinese that you would find in America, for example. Also, be careful in America, because if you ever go to America and order Peking duck, if you've never been to America before,
no,
Peking duck in America is a whole duck. You get the whole duck.
Whole duck. Peking duck is a kind of a skin.
Not just
I image.
No, if you order Peking duck in America, they'll bring you
whole duck coming.
Yeah, that actually happened to someone I know. They went to America, and they were at a Chinese restaurant, and they ordered Peking duck for their friend. They ordered 6 like lokuning mai. Yeah.
6 maybe 6 ducks.
6 ducks. Yes, they were so surprised. What is this? You ordered 6 Peking duck? What? Oh my god. Yeah, they had a lot of leftovers. Yeah, so fair warning. Yeah. Be careful when you go to America.
Don't eat Peking duck in the US.
Well, don't order 6 helpings.
Just one.
Just one.
One is enough.
More than enough. Yes. So, unfortunately, we're out of time. We're actually
yes, we already passed.
Yes, but it was a great pleasure talking.
Yeah, thank you very much. It was nice fun. Kind of just talk to me.
Yeah. See.
Well, this is the thing. What I think what you want to teach.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You did it. You did it. Exactly what I wanted you to do.
And then now I find why Hisako said it's really nice and funny lesson. She said it before.
Oh yeah.
At the mother's lesson class or somewhere.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. Wow, that's wonderful to hear. Yeah, I have a lot of teaching experience. I've taught a lot of different students of all ages, from the very young to the very old, and everything in between. And I just want to share my teaching knowledge and experience with other people. Yeah. Because I've seen what doesn't work. I've worked for companies where you have to teach it the way they want you to teach. And most of the time, that doesn't create communicators. That just creates, customers who keep paying for a service and for lessons that don't do anything that really help them become better at speaking the language. And I think that's terrible. I want my students to learn. Yeah, I want you to get to the level that you want to be at. Because even if you say, okay, I don't need Steve anymore, that's okay. because you know what? You're a good advertisement for me as a teacher then as well, because you will go out and you will talk to people and they'll say, how is your English so good? Oh, my teacher. Yeah. You know, that's the best form of the flattery and the best feeling for me as a teacher to see my students thrive in an English speaking world.
Yeah. So what kuchikomi in English? That's in Japanese. It's kuchikomi. Word of mouth. That's the best advertisement, I think. Yeah, that's really true.
Absolutely, because that's I mean, you know, people believe what they know, right? What they see. You know, a piece of paper can say everything about you, how great you are, and nobody will pay attention. Nobody will come to that teacher's lessons. But many students say, oh, this teacher is so great. You need to take this person's lessons. You need to go to this school. They will go. So I have great faith in my abilities and in my students. And that's the only thing that I need. So if you had fun today.
Yes, I'm going to post it. Yes, and I'm definitely going to post.
Do you mind if I take a picture?
Yeah,
I want to post in Global Mom to Mom as well.
And I am going to write some comments onto it.
Oh, awesome. Awesome. All right.
Yeah, of course.
Say Keith. iPhone. Yes, iPhone. Excellent. All right. And definitely, like I say, I have late lessons pretty much Tuesday through Friday. Or Tuesday through Thursday every week for at least this month and next month. Next month, after next month, I will evaluate and see which times work best for everybody. But definitely, anytime you want to take a lesson from me, please let me know.
Just ask it. Yeah, just ask. Yeah.
And I can make a lesson just for you.
Oh, thank you. Great. Yeah, that's good. Yes.
Absolutely. I don't mind. You know, I'm very flexible right now. You know, I'm not extremely busy every day. And 10 to 11 is definitely not a busy time of the day for me. So anytime you want a lesson, just let me know.
Yeah. And one thing I want you to know, the Wednesday is the mother lessons day from 10 to 11, the past. So maybe nobody is really coming.
Yeah, so far, this is actually the first lesson I've done in this since I posted last month. So you're the very first student at this time slot. Yeah. So definitely, if you want a private lesson, you know, please look at my availability. Even if it's not on my schedule for this late at night, don't hesitate to contact me.
I just want to ask you.
Yeah, it's no problem at all.
Yeah.
I'm more than willing to accommodate anybody.
Yeah. And so when you post the next lesson plan, so not the small talk, but the next stop, what you said, I'm going to join it.
Okay, I'll do that tonight, actually.
Oh.
What day works best for you? Tuesday is the best day for you, or?
Well, it depends. Maybe. It's quite difficult to say it. Tuesday or Wednesday, or Friday.
Fridays, I'm pretty busy.
Okay.
Friday nights, I have a game night that I do with my buddies every week, where we get together just like we did when we were young and play cards or play board games.
That sounds nice.
Yeah, it is, and we have some beers and drink and talk, and it's wonderful, especially since we can't go to a bar. Yeah,
go to anywhere.
Yeah.
At night.
Saturdays are good for you?
Yes, of course.
Saturday night or any time in the day, Saturday or?
Not really daytime. It's almost always nighttime or early morning.
Okay. Then why don't I make a lesson for this next Saturday, which
one?
is the 7th.
Since I have a plan, I have another thing to do on Saturday night in Global Mom to Mom.
How about next Tuesday? Would next
Tuesday,
Tuesday
the
work for
10th?
you?
Wait. That's not okay.
Okay. What day works best for you?
The wait from, if it comes to Tuesday, it's maybe 17th can be okay. Thinking, yes, 17th
Okay.
or 31st. Or when it comes to Saturday, it's 14th, 14th, and maybe 28th.
Okay. Well, how about this? How about we do the next lesson Tuesday the 17th,
Okay.
and Saturday the 14th and Tuesday the 17th. You want to do two?
Yes. Yeah, I can do it both days.
Okay.
But the 14th, I'm in my parents' place with my daughter.
Okay.
But it's okay.
It's okay with me if it's okay with you.
It's okay to me.
I don't have a problem at all with that. And they can join too if they like. If you want.
Do you mean my parents?
Yeah, sure. Why not? So the Saturday the 14th and Tuesday the 17th.
Okay. But both.
Okay. Yeah,
Okay.
both.
Okay.
I'll make.
Wait.
Oh.
Wait.
Okay. Saturday doesn't work for you?
Wait. Just been thinking it.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe not 14th. Oh, no.
Okay.
17th and
24th?
Yeah, 24th or 28th.
That is Thursday. Okay. Sorry, that's a Saturday.
Yeah, Saturday, 28th.
Okay, the 17th and the 28th.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. That's better.
From 10 o'clock. Yeah.
Yeah, I got to check my calendar. Just got lots of events in Global Mom to Mom.
Yeah.
Just a lot, which I want to join.
Right. They all sound so very interesting, right? I just watched a video today about Ben Percival, his Samoa.
That was amazing.
Yeah, world travel. It really was.
The world travel.
Actually, I have a good friend of mine who is half Samoan. He's from Hawaii, but his dad is Samoan, and his mom is from is like Portuguese, European mix. But yeah, he's very proud of his Samoan heritage, but he's never been to Samoa.
Wow.
Yeah, no. Well,
but he's proud of it.
It's kind of far. But I showed him the video today, and it was he was very interested in that as well. So that was really cool.
Yeah, it was really cool and nice.
Of course, Hawaii is very similar to Samoa, but yeah, it was really cool to share that with my friend. I want to get him in Global Mom to Mom too, because he's a great guy and a great teacher. He's from Hawaii. He used to be a surfer, a semi-pro surfer. Yeah, semi-pro, not completely professional, but he was paid to do surf contests and things like that. So yeah, he's a great guy to have in Global Mom to Mom as well. So I'm going to try to get him in.
Mm-hmm.
All right. But anyways, I look forward to seeing you on the
Definitely.
17th and
Okay.
the 24th or 28th, sorry,
The 8th. Yeah.
28th at 10 o'clock. All
Yes, at
right.
10 o'clock.
I
Yeah,
will
thank
pull for you.
you.
You're very welcome, and have a wonderful night and a wonderful rest of the week. All right.
Yes, I will.
All right. Excellent. Let's see you next
Thank you very
time.
much. Yeah, I'm looking forward to the next one.
Me too. All right.
Yes.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.
Have a good night.
You too.